Ludovic, man, thank you so much for coming on, especially on such short notice.
No worries, man. I was pretty keen to to get on. I know it was only today, but I was like, yeah, look, I've got a bit of time tonight. Absolutely.
Yeah, put this together in like 4 hours. It's insane.
Yeah, nice. Just in the background working like a madman.
Yeah. Tell me where it all began for you musically. Like, what made you want to get into the music industry?
Look, man, I've always been an avid I don't know, music aficionado, if you want to call it that. It's just more always loved music growing up, surrounded by people who I guess were into music, and always had a bit of an eclectic taste. When I was a lot younger, I was already into sort of electronic music and happy hardcore and just techno and things like that. And everyone used to think that I was a weirdo, you know what I mean, in school, and I used to want to make music and things like that, and then it just sort of went from there. So I think I got Logic, or no, it was actually Fruity Loops, I think, when I was like 8 or 9 or something. It was super old, and I didn't really do too much with it. But then it all sort of started coming to fruition when I was getting a little bit older, like coming into being 18, and then you start going out but I never wanted to be a DJ. I always just wanted to make my own music. But then to be able to play your own music is you got to DJ it. So it's one of those things where I know one thing led to another, and I learned to DJ at a kick on when I was pretty young, and then that was my role because I was surrounded by I guess quite established DJs, and sort of they just took me under their wing, and then I just started forging my own path, I guess, and just really, I guess, I'm obsessed over the art of DJing and just had that real old school mentality because I was just surrounded by old school DJs, and they taught me how to DJ properly, and which really is lacking in this industry now, is that people don't have appreciations for different times and playing different music, and really everyone just thinks they can get on and headline, you know what I mean? So you got to appreciate the warm-up slots and then the closing slots, and yeah, so I learned all of that stuff, and then all of a sudden it was my turn, and then I'm just like, oh fuck, like what do I even play now? Like I'm not playing for anyone else, I'm playing for myself. Like what's my sound, and then you're just petrified to play your own music because you just so scared of what people think and all that sort of stuff. But then I don't know, you do it and they respond well, and you're like, what do you mean this can't be real? And then yeah, I guess, and here I am now. So I guess a big thing for me, and what was a big leg up for me was that I used to supervise Chinese laundry a long time ago, and yeah, I just was surrounded by the music industry and everyone in it, and then I never told anyone that I was really getting into it, but then one thing led to another, and they found out, and then they're like, man, why don't you just jump on, and Frankie Tapia gave me a shot over at Chinese Laundry, and really helped me out, gave me some good guidance there too, and then yeah, I just started playing more and more, and people just decided they want to hear me play, which is sweet. And then
Yeah.
yeah, a few releases later, and now I'm here.
Sounds like a hell of a ride. I do want to ask you
Yeah.
though, your first Fruity Loops, was it cracked? Would you buy it?
No, I bought it. No, I actually
Really?
bought it.
Holy
I
shit.
tried to steal it, but and my mom was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know," because we just didn't know.
Yeah.
But mum was just always doing it pretty tough, so I just didn't want to put the financial burden on her. But when you're young, you don't think that the financial burden is going to be worse when you get caught for stealing. But no, she ended up buying it for me, which was good. And then the days of dial-up internet and shit like that, trying to get samples and fuck man, it was such a nightmare. But no, it's yeah.
Yeah, artists these days don't know the struggle.
No, everything's just at your fingertips now. Like just
Yeah.
whole like you can just make a whole song just from nothing, like just from just loops, and you're like, fuck man, this takes the fun out of it.
You did say the art style of DJ is kind of dying. and no one's really doing it like the traditional way. Do you mean like mixing by ear and beat matching by ear, like that type of stuff? Like, can you dive more into that?
Yeah, for sure. More or less the pre-planned sets, and the fully pre-planned sets. Everything has just got to be already organized, and it's you can just tell, like, and they're not taking into consideration the energy on the dance floor, or they're not reading the room. You know what I mean? They could just clear a whole dance floor and just keep looking down and start like, continuously play stupidly heavy, and you're like, mate, what are you doing? And you have to appreciate where you have to really warm them up and get them into a place of trust, and then when you have them in the palm of your hand, you can take them anywhere, but you can't exhaust your crowd. You have to give them big breaks, and you have to let them come to awareness as well, because you get so lost when you're watching a DJ. Then all of a sudden, like, if you're not having that break, you sort of, like, I love having, like, sometimes in my sets I put a really long breakdown in, and then people are like, oh, you can see you nearly lose them, and then all of a sudden just bringing it straight back in and feed them.
Yeah.
And then you get their attention back, because it gives them a chance to have a bit of a look around, and they're like, oh, where is everyone? And then all of a sudden you start bringing it back in, and they're like the full attention span again. Because I know I'm just seeing a lot of DJs playing a stupid amount of tracks in one set, but then everyone just thinks there's going to be breakdown drop, breakdown drop, breakdown drop, and it just ruins the whole night. There's only so much energy. I like to look at the analogy of like a bank. You know what I mean? You take too much money out, you're gonna have nothing left. So yeah, you got to give it something back. So yeah. And again, and a little bit more on that. Just music etiquette, and just different frequencies, different BPMs work differently by with your biology and stuff like that. It's just, there's actual science behind it, and people don't realize that stuff. When you play a track that's just got no guts in it, and you can tell, and it just hits you different. And it's just, there's so many layers to it, man. I could go on forever.
Yeah. Well, people, like you said, don't understand how important the warm-up set is. Like, you're pretty much
it
creating
sets the tone
night
for the whole night. It sets, like, the very, very first person that plays will set the pace for the rest of the night. Like, I can't even explain to you how many times that people have been out playing like the tunes that I would usually play before, on a opening set, and you're like, where is the next three other people going to go? Like, where are we going? And it's
only up from here.
Yeah, literally. So I've usually got to strip it right back, and just sometimes I've just played ambience for the first minute and a half, just to really give everyone a breather. Yeah.
Well,
it's really hard to get back. I have to work for it.
Why techno though? Why techno and house? I guess they kind of coincide with each other, but how'd you get to techno?
Look, man, I've always been a pretty fast-paced person, as you might be aware, but at the same time, it's just, there's so many beautiful elements to it, but at the same time, it's really tough, but it's beautiful. And I really think that you can take people on a pretty significant journey through playing techno, and it really, I know, techno crowds are amazing to play to, especially lots of like Europeans, and now the Australian people, the punters, they're all getting educated, and it's beautiful, because you go to a night and there's actual genuine punters that are there, and they completely appreciate what you're doing, and there's just so many elements, the percussions, the tops, and just the driving kicks and bass lines, and I don't know, it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it. I just love it. Yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah, well, there's a whole wave of just techno being the standout and the normal over here in Sydney for like 3 years. Like, as soon as the lockdowns happened, it was all underground shit, and it was insane.
Yeah. We had to go underground to start with, because they couldn't open venues more than 50% capacity, and then everyone had to sit down. Who the fuck wants to sit down at a techno event? Not me, man. Not me.
How does it feel going from like working your way up to now like, I want to say, quote unquote, headlining venues here in Sydney. Like, how
Um,
does that feel?
Look, it feels amazing, and then sometimes we need to stop and appreciate where you come from and where you are now and stuff. And I think, I don't know, I just honestly think that I've got such a long way to go, man. I never ever think about me being at the top of my game ever, you know. And there's always things that I can do to improve, and I just think, I don't know, just usually I just, people always say that, you know, man, you're so humble, just take a compliment, like, and I just really sort of struggle with it. But when do you settle? You just don't. So yeah, I like to reflect and just, I don't know, it's good to have moments of clarity, because, you know, after COVID, everyone, I don't know, because I had so many things lined up, and I was looking at going overseas, and I'd already been going all over Australia, and just, it scared me so much because the bookings weren't coming back in at the start, and you know, we couldn't do anything because no venues were opening enough to do anything. So I guess it was super scary coming back into it, and it's almost like you've had to crawl back in. You know, you work so hard, and then when you have that feeling of going backwards, it's like, fuck, can I do it again? Like, I don't know if I could do this again. You know, my social media, I just completely just really sort of stopped using it. During COVID, I didn't really have much ambition to make music, just because I made music to play at shows, and I wasn't playing at any shows. And so that just stopped, and I was like, fuck, how do I make music again? You know? But sure enough, you get back into it. But yeah, and then, oh man, I've been really blessed with some of the biggest shows I've played just recently. But yeah, I'm so thankful every day. I'm just trying to look at everything, being really grateful.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like just quitting? Like,
So many times, man.
Yeah.
So many times. Like, and it's like, because you put so much emotion into when you play, it actually exhausts you, you know. And when you play to a venue that's fucking got no one in it, like, and it's just, you can't really vibe too much, you know, people are still too scared to go out, or it's just like, yeah, fuck it. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Like, it's an empty thing, and you're sitting there and you're trying to play music, and it just kind of lowers.
Is it ever going to get good again?
Yeah.
You know, am I ever going to get that feeling back again? And I think, to be totally honest, I think COVID was a really, really good break though, because I really missed playing music, and the only ever time I DJ is when I play at shows now. Like, I don't even have any set up at home. It's just like, you know, I just go and I play, and then that's it. And I missed that connection with the crowd, and I was scared of it again, because I was like, am I even relevant anymore? And you know, you think these things because you are your worst critic, but yeah, I just had to get back on with it. And now it's good because I've sort of taken a step back and started focusing on, you know, my studies and my work and all these different things, and then music's just fallen into place. It should be nothing that you shouldn't have to force it, like, you really shouldn't. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I took away, was just take a step back, and it's supposed to be a passion. Like, you know, you got to have your passion, your purpose in your life, and music is my passion, and I don't ever want to turn that into a job, because then it just takes the specialness away from it. Never want to rely on it as income, and I don't want to do anything like that, because then you start treating it like a business. And let's be honest, we don't got to go to work all the time. Fuck that. Yeah, so
that makes sense. You do this to escape from work.
Yeah. Just do it to feel good, you know,
Yeah.
and make other people feel good. That's like, I can't describe the feeling of when, you know, you get off and you just sort of, you come to, because you're like, whoa, I'm back. And then you just have people just like their heads in their hands and just going, fuck, like, and people approaching you after, and you're just like, fuck. And all you're thinking about is all the mistakes you made. But then they're just like, oh my God, like, this is, you know, so great. And you're just like, fuck. And, you know, you almost don't believe it. And you're like, oh, okay, thank you so much. Like, but
no, you heard that like one beat off transition I did, like,
yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh man, the amount of saves, especially when equipment isn't working or something, you know, CDJs are on emergency loop, or you're just like,
Fuse
But they're
button
like,
don't
no, I didn't
work.
even notice. Yeah.
Um, fuck, I had a question right after that. Oh, how was
Don't
it?
worry, yeah, I do that all the time.
How was
Mind
it
blanks.
to play pure straight away? Like, I mean, finally play pure.
Yeah, look, it's it
Like,
was
got
phenomenal. I was fucking petrified, to be totally honest.
yeah,
And it didn't even
because
feel
it was
real.
a big
Yeah.
show back right after COVID, wasn't it? Like, it would have been your biggest show back right after COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it definitely was the biggest, for sure. In front of me, audience, and pretty prime slots, which is really good. And I think, look, there was Picnic Electronic in Melbourne beforehand, and there's a couple of thousand people there, but this one just took the cake, man. That's like that's where I want to be at, and just getting used to that level or size of stage when I'm so used to playing in a more on the ground, and then everyone's sort of in and over you, and you're in and immersed in it. It's such a different vibe, man. And I couldn't hear a damn thing up there. Like, could not hear a damn thing. And because the lights are in your face, you can't see the crowd. So you've really got to like rely on your instinct. But fuck, it felt good, man. Like,
Yeah.
wow. And there was so many people sending me so much love and videos, and I'm like, well, so they loved it, like, but man, I can't even describe the feeling. It was just so great. And then to have, the greats, go out of their way, like Carl Cox and stuff, to say, I really, really enjoyed your set. And, Rainer Zonnerfield was there, and Eric Powell, and Bart Skills, and yeah, and then the local legends, Nick, and Wild Fox, is just like, I don't know, it's perfect.
Yeah. It was like, I seen the reel on your Instagram. It was hella risky to drop the mashup,
Yeah,
like, because it was such an offbeat. It was just hip hop. Like,
yeah,
no one would expect that at a techno event. Like, and here you are, just like, have some of this.
yeah, totally. And I guess I never like to play it safe. And I always will try to do something different. And I think that's what differentiates you from other people. It's like, it's not that I'm playing unsafe. It's just more or less, it just felt right. And I just did it. So I think it was Mark Wildman's track, the Cypress Hill edit. And he sent it to me that arvo. Like, I'd already, put all my tunes on my track, and I was about to actually leave to go over to his house for some beers before we went over. And then he's like, "Oh, can you play this?" And I'm like, and I said, "Send it over, give me a listen." And I was like, "All right." I've listened to like the fucking 20 seconds of it, and I'm like, "Man, all right, chuck it in." And because I'm all for, supporting Australian artists, and I just whacked it in there, and it went so hard, man. It was great. Like, because he was pretty, energetic, and then all of a sudden, I was just building and building and building, and then it's right into like that breakdown bit, and then it just goes down to like 90 BPM or something. It's just full blown Cypress Hill, like, fuck you music. And then everyone was like scream singing it, and then I'm getting goosebumps recollecting this now, and then just bang, building it back up again, and everyone just fucking went bananas. It was so sick.
Like, it was risky, but I feel like it was the right crowd to do it, because everyone can fuck with Cypress Hill,
Yeah.
Like,
and I love to play for the older punters that come, because they really, like, they are who I just, those, I have like punter idols, you know what I mean? And I just think whenever you have an old school crew down there, I really love to respect them, and really, throw some old stuff in them that might, some of the younger crowd might not even know. And I played a few tunes like that, and they just, it's just like this. I just want to show them respect, and just say, hey, like, I'm in here with you, man. Like, here's some shit that you used to love, and then throw them in some good new stuff, and mix it all up, and just never just go in one pigeonhole direction, I guess.
Yeah. I do want to ask, how many fucking tattoos do you have?
Look, man, I'll just say a couple of big ones.
Yeah.
But look, it just, I'm pretty covered. I got one, like, a lot of one leg left, and then some of my lower back, but that's pretty much what I got left, I think. And I'm in no rush, and it doesn't help that my partner, she's a tattoo artist, and she's only tattooed me once. But man, she's booked out fucking 6 months in advance. Like, I can't even get into it if I wanted to. So which is good because I'm in no rush.
Yeah.
And I've already got up to my, my chin and my ears, and it's just like, all right, I'm in my work as well, because I'm like the first social worker that I've ever bloody hired with tattoos as well. And I'm just like, it was, they nearly didn't hire me as well. And they were sussing me for so long. And they're just like, just don't tattoo your face. I'm like, I'm not tattooing my face. It's just, that's my identity, But no, the tattoos are, it's been a bit of my I've got my first one when I was like 13, just to fucking stick and pokes, and then junkies in the backyard, and just that whole bloody scenario. And then before you know it, and here I am, fucking 30 years old and covered head to toe. Yeah.
Like, on estimate, how long do you think you've been in a chair? They're big tattoos.
Look, probably like 250 plus hours.
That's insane.
Yeah. Because I've had like whole sleeves, and then I've just blasted over them as well at the same time, because they're just old shit things that you don't want to be, you're not a little gangster anymore, or all these little things. It's just, you're not that, and it's just, man. But it's also a good opportunity to talk to young people about wanting to get fucking tattoos, because usually they just want to go, oh, I just want to get my hands and my neck done, and you're like, bro, you just like fucking stop eating your Weet-Bix like 2 minutes ago. Like, can you just relax? You haven't even fucking sprouted your first pube yet.
Jesus Christ. You're a social worker?
This is why I get good results, I'm telling you. No. Yeah.
That's crazy. How did you fall into social working?
Look, I always was one to, I don't know, I've always been a big advocate for people, and I've always loved working with people, and I've done every bloody job under the sun. I've had all different trades. I started off as a concrete at a real young age, before I left school, and then went to metal sheet roofing, and then did a bit of, labouring here and there. And then I worked for an engineering company, doing, just factory work. And then, went through all that shit, and did retail and did bars and nightclubs and shit. And I'm like, man, none of this is for me. I'm like, I don't want to make the man heaps of money. Like, that's not what I'm about. It wasn't filling me up, So I'm, such a strong believer in having a passion and a purpose, and you put on this life, to do something. And I think, and my motto is that, be the person that you wish you, be the person that you needed when you were younger. So that was my biggest thing. I want to help young people struggling with their families, and with their situations, and help them, I guess, discover that what you've done doesn't define you, and that you can actually, it's every day after is what you do. So just want to get kids out of jail, and I want to fix broken families, and I guess just try and make young people safe. That's their next generation. Like, what are we going to do next if everyone's fucked?
There needs to be more people like that. Like, just, I don't know, people just walk past the generation underneath them and like, oh, you just draw a bunch of fuck ups. No one's really just
with this little Eshay.
Yeah, like, no one's stepping in to help.
Yeah, totally, man. And at all, like, and they're just so fucking consumed and selfish, and just think, I'm not gonna fucking help that person. Like, I haven't got the time for that, So all right. But yeah, and then they're wondering how their kids are getting mixed up with the wrong crowd, and how their kids are getting bullied, and all of this shit. It all comes from somewhere, right? So it's just like, fuck, if you don't fix our youth, man, you can only imagine what that's going to be like when they're all adults. Like, it's actually ridiculous. But anyway,
it just gets passed down generation to generation, and just continues. It's terrible.
And it just gets worse.
Yeah.
Our technology now is actually fucking crazy. Like, you just think like I'm in the era where we didn't have that, but then at the same time, it's just between those generations where we didn't have it, and then we know what it's like to have it as well. So we're like, where we can, be experts with technology, but at the same time, we know what it's like to not have it and be, brought up without that sort of stuff. And it's really interesting. I'm keen to, get onto doing some, research around actually what that impact is on young people's development now as well, because like everyone's attention span's like fucking 5 seconds, and they're getting their, you know, dopamine hits from their phone and not from personal interactions. And you know, how many kids are going to come out with autism later because they haven't developed any social skills? Like, you know, when you have like a mum that passes a phone to their child at the dinner table in a restaurant and to soothe their needs, and they wonder why they have attachment issues. You just think, fuck, man, like, because you're not soothing them yourself. You're doing it with a machine. So, but look, I could go on forever about it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I could also go on forever about it. Like, I don't want to get too deep into it because we're here about you, but I've got a 8-month-old, and like she reaches for the phone all the time. I'm like, no, you don't need it. Like, you're 8 months, but she just likes it because it lights up type shit. But like, I just, you know, you just keep it away from her. Like, it's
one parents that are stuck into it while they're with their kids is just the worst thing that you can do.
Like, I try not to be, but if I'm replying to something or like doing something, but I'm there, you know, like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't understand how people can. Yeah. Fuck, it goes deep. We can go deep, but I don't think we have time for that.
A different segment. Yeah, and I'm not good at talking about myself, so here we are. Yeah.
Fuck, I had another question. Jesus.
Random digressions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. You also do artist management.
Yeah. Yeah. And so basically a while ago, like, you know, I had a full rolling events company and stuff, but I needed to have a break from that, man. I was burning out. I was losing my passion for music. But I had my own events company, and it's called In Debt We Trust. And so, you know, run like, you know, underground style parties, and with specific, you know, practicing all of the things that I learned with, you know, music progression and booking the right acts for the right times, and try to be as fresh as you can with venues and styles of parties. I always wanted to have themes and that sort of stuff, and had some of the best times ever doing that. And then, so what came of that, I got to look after a whole heap of artists at the same time, and then now, even though I've taken a step back, it's like one of my mates, he does most of the you know, big artist transport and artist management stuff for some of the biggest artists, and he just hires me from now to, you know, every now and then. And you know, for example, like a couple of weeks ago, I was looking after What's or Not. I was just being his you know, his tour manager, just because I was filling in, you know what I mean, and just because I know what, you know, you should be like as a tour manager for an artist. It's just easy, so easy, because I know the technology, and you know, driving from A to B as well. It's just, and it's good and it's fun, and you know, it's fresh, because like, you know, the What's or Not thing, that's not my scene, but it's sick because, you know, it's fresh, and you know, you feel like you're going out and you're not getting on the drugs or on the piss or and all that sort of shit, and you still get to have a good time, and you go home and you're wrecked, you get to go to bed and you're not kicking on. So yeah, that side of the artist management was great. It is great. And yeah, I guess I'll continue to do it, like subcontracting, if you like. But yeah, I love that sort of stuff. So yeah, Johnny D got me back into it, and he goes, mate, why don't you do this? And I'm like, because it's just, because people just, you know, they'll fucking pay you to do this shit. And I'm like, true. All right. I need a bit of extra money because I'm fucking studying, and it's just like, you know, you're busted all the time. So just, yeah, anyway, but it's easy. I love it.
That was my question. What are you studying? We spoke about it before, but like, for anyone who didn't hear.
So I'm doing a double degree in cognitive brain science and psychology. Okay,
so how do you go from like being like 13 to like concreter, metal sheet roofer, and all that other stuff to, what was it again? Cognitive brain, double degree.
Cognitive brain science and and psychology. It's like, yeah, look, ADHD, no, but no, look, I've always been a person that strives for more, but at the same time, I'm so fascinated about how humans interact and how the human body, like, I just think it's the most amazing thing, and how brains work. They're so complicated, and I absolutely love trying to figure that shit out. And like, you know, for my work, you know, I guess the more complex and the more you know, shit surrounding it, it's just like, I love figuring it out. It's just everything is a puzzle, man. And I love it because you have to just, troubleshoot stuff and you figure out how the brain works at the molecular level, but then at the same time, how that translates into, human behavior and why they act like that. And the situation, how powerful the situation is as well. And I don't know, man, I'm fascinated by all that stuff. I love it. Yeah.
Did the social working side of things make you want to pick it up, or did you just come across it on a webpage? Like who even wants to go in and then do something? Like I know you find it fascinating, but like who's going, I'll do that? Is there even many people in your class?
Look, it just depends on the subject, but yeah, there's lots of dropouts, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, look, it's like I didn't even think that I could even, as soon as I found out I could get paid to be a social worker and like what that job entails, like I was already sort of doing that for young fellas, you know what I mean? I was already doing it, and as soon as one of my mates goes, dude, you can get paid for that? And I just started off doing youth work and then, worked my way up and stayed and did studying and did all that stuff for ages. And then, became a case manager. And then now I actually, drive people's lives and give them a voice. So yeah, look, and I just went from that and I was like, fuck, like I never thought I could go to university because of, learning difficulties and I don't know, just where I guess how I grew up, it was just like, no one went to university. Like it's not made for us. Like university is not made for me and my sister and my mum and all of that sort of stuff. So and then I was like, fuck it, you know what? I'm just going to give it a go. And then I got in, like I got into uni. I was like, fuck. And I got into the uni that I wanted to go to, which is like my dream uni, which is Macquarie University, because they've got the best psych programs ever, and they've got a hospital on site and they've got clinics on site and they've got labs. They've got, the cochlear clinic. They've got they're basically like the leading spot in Australia for all of that stuff. And it just, I don't know, it's just a dream come true. And I honestly still don't think I can do it now, but I'm just fucking persevering. I've got nothing to lose. I'm just going to give it a go. So.
How many years is it?
So look, it'd probably be about 6 years. But I'm 2 in. So
Holy shit.
Yeah, to be fully practicing, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Dedicated, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's just, man, you fucking blink and 6 months goes by now. Like,
true.
It's just like, whoa, things need to slow down. Like, man, I'm coming up to final exams for this, semester already. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did the time go, man? Like,
yeah, I swear we just had New Year's and now we're already halfway through the damn year.
Legit, it's 5 months in. Like,
crazy.
Fuck? Yeah, I'm always asking people like, "What's the day, man?" Like, wait, what day is it today? Yeah, totally. But nah, I never thought I could do it, but then I was just like, "Fucking why not?" You can do anything you want. You just got to literally give it a go. And what you're not going to be any worse off if you don't give it a crack. So
yeah,
fuck, who cares? Go for it. Ask for help. Do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Who's Walker?
Walker. He's one of my absolute best friends. And was one of those the old school DJs that taught me and taught me actually how to produce music and really harnessed the beauty of music and what I had to offer as well. And he went from being my mentor to one of my closest friends. And he's a phenomenal DJ. Like, fuck, man, he blows me away every time that I've seen him play. And it's just like, I just fucking idolize him and what he does. And just the way that he makes music is just like, whoa, man, like my hairs are standing up on my arms now, like thinking about it. And I just look, and he's just the most phenomenal human being. But yeah, he's been a huge inspiration for my music, to be totally honest. He even flew to Sydney to watch my show at Pure. And it was really special. It was really, really good. He's just like, mate, you have fucking grown so much. And that was like the only person I really wanted to impress that night, eh? So yeah, look, and yeah, but you've always got to have your people that you look up to and that keep you driven.
Yeah, well, it's good that you have that connection, because most people don't, like, they are too scared to reach out for help. So at least you had someone there to kind of guide you through the music industry in a way.
Yeah.
But
well, look, yeah, and it's yeah, and all they can do is just, you can only lead the horse to water, and it provided me some great insight and some brutal honesty, like some real like, man, what the fuck is this shit? Like in just sort of like, being real hard like that, but then giving you that constructive feedback, not just that shit that you want to hear, which, you send your track to someone and you're going to send your track to two different types of people. It's going to be the one just to fucking, get your bloody, boost your ego, or you get the ones where you're like, you actually genuinely want some feedback. And whenever people send me tracks and I'm just like, okay, so what specific do you want feedback on? Because I'll tell you what I reckon. But yeah, it's your track. Is it finished or is it not finished? Or, do you want insight on the mix, or do you want insight on the master, or do you want insight on the structure, or like, do you want me to tell you what's missing? Things like that. It's always easier to do it on other people's tracks rather than your own. But no, so look, he taught me all of those things, and how to have self-worth as an artist is a big one, and how to say no, and also it's okay to have breaks, and it doesn't mean that people want you less, and just to be a really good person and not lose yourself. That was probably one of the biggest things. He's always stayed so true to who he is as a person, and what he's about, and he's just his authentic self 24/7. And I just think he's just the most, that's who I want to be as an artist, is have those personality traits, and really just be stable and consistent over time. I'm not going to give you a fluffed up version of something. I'm not going to suck your ass, I'm just going to tell you how it is, man. But yeah, I think I just really value all of those things that he's taught me.
Yeah. Well, speaking of taking breaks, how much unreleased music are you sitting on? Because you haven't dropped anything since 2020.
Yeah. There's like, fuck, man, I've got hundreds of tunes, and to me it's like they're all unfinished, and it's just like,
are they ready?
when do you exactly? And it's just like, Picasso was one of the biggest him as an artist, like none of his works were finished, and it was just, and I'm like, okay, fuck, all right, so that makes a bit more sense. So I just, all right, I'll start releasing them. But then, you release a tune, but it doesn't come out until 6 months later. And then all of a sudden you just get this fucking notification that it's in the charts. And you're like, what the fuck? I didn't even, it wasn't even my favorite song either. Like, that was the one that you hated the most out of all of them, It was just like, oh, I better get this out. And it's never the ones that you love the most. It's never the ones that you love the most. But
never is.
Yeah, no, I've definitely got plenty in the pipeline. I've got a collab at the moment that me and Lisa May are working on, so that'll be sick. She's getting fucking played by some big dog artists. She's doing so well. I'm super proud of her. And yeah, so look, there's some things coming up, but I guess I don't like to speak on them until it's real, because otherwise I just get my hopes up. Yeah, exactly. And then you just look like this dickhead. But I'm just one of those people that gets their hopes up and then just gets fucking shattered, because the music industry is so fragmented, where anything can happen. So yeah.
Well, I don't release music. I'm not an artist, but I could say if you are playing it live and people are vibing it, it's fucking ready.
Yeah, totally. And I played like, I think it was like 4 of my own in that pure set. And it's just like, because I was almost not going to play them, just because of the caliber of the event. And then you just get in your own head. It's just that anxiety shit, and you're just like, no, fuck it. Look, people are gonna vibe it. If it has fucking 4 to the floor, they're gonna love it. Oh, yeah. 4 to the floor and a hat, sorted. That's all you need.
Like, how does it feel? Like, can you describe the feeling of when you play your own song and then the whole crowd goes, whoa! Like, what does that feel like?
Doesn't even feel real, man. I don't even know if I can describe it in words. It'd be really interesting to actually write it down and just exactly what it feels like. But it's definitely surreal. And it's just like, holy fuck. Like, I've listened to this thing 400,000 times and I am that over it. But then you just immediately fall in love with it again. So I guess it's like finding love again. Every time you play a tune that you're fucking over, because you've just been sitting there on a loop constantly wondering fucking what's missing when there's nothing missing, because I guess humans are greedy, and that also translates into the shit's never finished. You always want it to be better, but you constantly, every track that you make gets better. So yeah, some of the shit that I first released, I was like, what do you mean? Yeah.
Do you think it'll have you just fully cut it out? No, this is shit. You shouldn't even be cheering for it. And put it back out.
This is shit. Yeah, fully.
Do you feel like it has the same effect as like a rapper or a singer when the whole crowd's singing their song? Do you think it's the same vibe of what you get when the drop hits and the whole crowd goes wah? Like, do you think it's on the same caliber or scale?
Oh, look, I'm sure. Look, I don't know what they're feeling, but at the same time, it looks pretty amazing. And I won't lie. In my own experience, it does feel pretty amazing. It's yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like when you get that feeling of being so excited to see someone, and then it's just like that feeling, but then it's like this audience basically clapping for you because of that, and you're just like, what the fuck? Because it's like awkward. But at the same time, you're trying to embrace it and you can't take the compliment. But then at the same time, you're like, this is the best fucking feeling in the world. Yeah.
Like you stand there like this, you're just like a complete dick. You've also got to mix in the next song. And it's just like,
you've already missed your opportunity and you're just like looking like a baby giraffe going on. Yeah, it's so much shit's going on. You're like, fucking focus.
Yeah. Lights in your eyes, people tapping you. You got 5 minutes left. Fuck. So much stress. Like how people don't understand. It's so stressful, I guess. Like behind the deck.
I don't know. Once the first two songs are the like to say just the grand final. You know what I mean? The very two first songs is literally that feeling. And the feeling of uncertainty. What am I gonna? How are they gonna respond to the music that I'm playing? How do I make them get the best enjoyment? How do I create some memories tonight for them? And they might not necessarily remember me, but at the same time they'll remember that man, that fucking set or that tune or whatever. Like that's what I'm going for.
How many DJs have you had come over your shoulder to see what you're playing?
Oh man, so many. So many. Or you see the oldie off to the side, like the Shazam, like, hey, what's, they're trying to fucking hide their phone. But I just love the old crowd ones, like you're playing an unreleased tune and then you see like a Shazam in the middle of the air and like the blue fucking thing and you're like, it's not even out, you dumb cunt. Like, yeah. Or they're just like, what tune is this? Can you take a photo of the fucking mixer, screen? And you're like, sometimes you're just like, yeah, fucking oath. Absolutely. And just always sharing my music. People that are just like, heaps sneaky with their tunes. Like I understand if you're sharing tunes with people, but then they're just playing your whole fucking sets. You're just like, what are you doing? But people that are genuinely like just like music frothers, I'm all for it. Always would show them my tunes, or if I have something going on, they'll be like, oh, what tune is this? And I'll always credit the artist.
Yeah.
So
I do. Oh yeah, credit to the artist is very important. Like there's a lot of people who, like in cases, steal people's music. And that in itself is just fucking wild. Like, I don't know how you can get on that level and be like, that's mine. And then upload it.
Man. And I've made the fucking, when I very, very first sort of started making tunes, and I made this edit and it was just like a bit of a mashup thing. And I used to play to my sets and I won't name artists, but it was, and then this fucking, look, it was like a pretty big release, like music releasing fucking place, and I thought I'd credited all the artists because I'm like, this is just an edit, but me not being, I guess, educated enough in the time, and I just all of a sudden I started getting all this fucking hate mail, man. Like I got all this hate mail from, there was this huge like American artist who's just fucking trashing me, man. Like it was so unprofessional, and like I actually reached out to him and I was like, dude, actually, like, I would really have loved if you just approached me first instead of just trying to get your fucking simps onto me. Cause like, it's just one of these things that they're relentless. American trolls, holy fuck. Like, I like literally had thoughts of suicide, man. It was fucked up. Like the shit that they were fucking ruining my life, man. And then I was just like, what the fuck? I'm never releasing music ever again. Like, and I fully take ownership that it wasn't my music and I did that. And it was just like, what the fuck? What would they have done if I didn't do that? Like,
Yeah.
and anyway, and then I was just like, whoa, like I just couldn't believe it. And just saw this really toxic side of the music industry. And I was like, whoa, is this what I'm signing up for? Like, and it really, it made me anxious to release anything. And I'm all about sharing music, and if I think something's great, like, and people want it, I'll definitely share it, but it's not about, I'm not trying to claim it, but anyway, that's fucking another story, but yeah.
There's a reason we're not on Twitter over here in Australia. Twitter is just like
Yeah.
the wild, wild west of the social media world.
Dude, I just don't. I'm struggling to keep up with. I'm so glad that Instagram and Facebook have that option where you just automatic shares to the other one, because I don't fucking on it. I'm not even on it, I'll do a couple of like stories here and there and stuff, and people are like, why don't you do stories anymore? I'm just like, fuck, I just don't. Where's my time? As you know, like, I don't have a fucking minute to scratch my ass. Like, I just finished a fucking statistics class and then jumped on this to have a chat. And then by the time I'm like, I'm not going to be a character. I'm like, I'm ruined. You don't want to see me. I'm a fucking mess. At the end of the day, I need to go to bed. I want to play some video games.
Speaking of video games, I do have a bunch of questions that I ask everyone.
Go.
What's your favorite food, man?
Speaking of video games, what's your favorite food?
Oh no, we'll get there.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Like, food in general is such a fucking. I love food. Like, love food. So my partner, she's Japanese, like, and her parents are like traditional Japanese, and it's just, so I love Japanese food so much. But then at the same time, like, I love Italian food. I love Thai food. I love all different sorts of cuisines, man. But my mum's lasagna and my mum's spaghetti bowl, like, shut the gates. There's just nothing compares. But that'd be, or my mum's roast potatoes. Holy shit! Like, let's bring back memories. I'd hit my mum up and be like, "Hey, mum, I'm coming over for a roast." Jokes. I'll just get on a plane, And yeah, so look, man, I'm a huge foodie. Like, we if ever come out to eat with me, it's always going to be large, and it's always, that's where predominantly a lot of my money goes, is just the food, So I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Well, I've had someone come on and say all that stuff, the same stuff. Like, I eat all this, all that, and then they turn around and go, but my favorite food would have to be buttered noodles. It's like, what the fuck?
You fucking retarded. What the hell? Like, buttered noodles? What? But like, it's simple, right? It's just so simple and so easy. Just fucking cook up some noodles and chuck some butter in it.
And it works. Like, I don't know, whatever floats their boat, I guess.
Totally. I love experimenting with food too. You just, like, what you like, and you try to chuck it all together, and it might work or it might not work. Yeah. But yeah.
Netflix or Disney Plus?
Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't even have Disney Plus, but whenever I get a minute to watch Netflix, absolutely, I'll jump on it. Yeah.
What are you watching on Netflix?
Fuck, fair bit of anime, hey, to be honest. Yeah, so much anime, which is sick. I don't know, they're just fucking, animes are so good, But yeah, but then all at the same time, like, I love my old school comedy movies, like, White Chicks, Hot Chicks, and then you've got like the original Scary Movie 1, 2, and maybe 3, and then after that it just gets fucking ridiculous. But that the first 3 Fast and the Furious is like, just like a bit of all of everything. I don't mind an outrageous, gory action movie at the same time, but and I don't mind like, there's a movie that Denzel Washington was in, and it's called Man on Fire. It's probably one of my all-time favorite movies. I fucking cry like a fucking banshee every time that I watch the damn thing, but I feel super pumped after. I'm like, fucking needed that. Yeah, he's just such a boss.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
what's yours?
That's hard. I've got both.
So Netflix and Disney, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been like binge watching The Simpsons on Disney, and then like
680 seasons, and then they've just fucking touched every political matter like 5 years before it even happened.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, we'll get into conspiracies in a second. But but like, I don't know, I feel like after they got brought by Disney, kind of went downhill real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, on Netflix, like I watched like way too much Netflix when I had it. But it's just hard to find anything on Netflix these days. Like
That you already haven't watched.
what that you haven't watched that you don't think isn't good. Like, but the mentality I have is I can sit there and watch two 50-minute episodes of a TV series, but I can't bring myself to watch an hour and a half movie. It's like it's like what the fuck?
Fully. Yeah. Let's just chuck something on quick so we can turn it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just next minute, you're like fucking 10 episodes in.
3 seasons in, you're like, oh my god.
You're like, wait, it's daytime again?
Yeah, I got work.
Yeah. Shit. Maybe I should just call in sick so I can watch this next season. Yeah.
PlayStation or Xbox, man? What are you playing with?
I grew up with PlayStation, but ever since I moved in with my housemate, I didn't have one for a long time. I just didn't have time. But then I went to Xbox and haven't gone back. So yeah. You're like, what have you done to me?
Yeah.
Man, Xbox Games Pass, fucking so good.
Oh yeah. Well,
PlayStation doesn't have anything like that, eh?
They
do? Yeah.
It's probably not as good from what I hear, but they're still slowly rolling it out.
Yeah. What's your favorite game?
Fuck. I don't know. I haven't had time.
Come on, man.
I haven't had time to jump on. Like, I've been a mixture of things from like buildings, like SimCity and shit like that to
fuck, that was a good game back in the day.
Oh yeah. Fuck. To what is it? Dying Light, the new one, Dying Light 2. Like a mixture of things, man. What about you? What are you playing?
At the moment, look, I've been a pretty big Call of Duty fan, big time. And then, zombies specifically, but I'll do a bit of multiplayer. But other than that, my car games, Forza Horizon, stuff like that, I fucking love it. I'd actually just get so stuck playing that for so long. I love it. Yeah, that's my jam. Like when I had PlayStation, Gran Turismo, obviously. But yeah, now my first person shooters, love it.
Yeah, big COD fan up until Modern Warfare 3, and then kind of went downhill real quick from there. And then the new Modern Warfare was pretty sick. But hey,
yeah, there's Modern Warfare 2 coming out.
Oh, I'm excited for that. If it's anything like the new one, like the old Modern Warfare that they just released, geez, that didn't make sense. But it'll be sick, hopefully.
The one that just really, the last Modern Warfare that was there.
Yeah, like it should be good. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to turn into like the most fucking feral human being as soon as it comes out.
Yeah. Oh, the COD lobbies are so sour. Like,
oh man, I don't know how many times I've heard like people telling each other to kill themselves, and I don't know. Some of those kids are so witty. I can't keep up, man. Like it's just like they fire shit back, and you're just like, wait, what the fuck did you just say? You're all crazy, but then you just hear like these little kids like full screaming and shit in the phone, and then like, if I ever did that, I would just get fucking bashed at home. Eh? Like, not making any noise outside of what the fuck's supposed to be going. I'm done.
My mum would flog me.
Yeah, like, are you raging over the game? Sweet, you're never playing it again.
Yeah, that's mine.
Shit. Jeff, it's nothing about that. Just stub my toe.
What's your biggest conspiracy, man?
Oh fuck. Where do we even start? It depends on how fucking big you want to go and how like deep you want to go. But to be honest, oh fuck, this is a big one. I don't know. It depends on where you want to go.
Man, I've
like
been
one that's just real far fetched, or one that's just like could quite possibly be right.
Look, whatever you think is your biggest, but I've been everywhere. I spoke to a guy over in the States, Nick Natoli. I did a whole interview with him just based on his whole outrageousness on conspiracies and his music. And we went fucking deep. We went to like Disney, like we need to cancel Disney, to reptilian aliens. And I still don't understand reptilian aliens. It doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, we touched everything, and I'm open to anything, man. So lay it on me.
Well, look, man, and I'll just go something that's just pretty fucking. Look, I'll go a couple. So basically, is anything real that we're told, about, we obviously know that there's life out there beyond us, but I would really love to know exactly what that looks like, and not just some fucking nutbag telling me about it. There's chemtrails and shit. I just really want to. I really want to fucking know, but at the same time, I don't. But nah. Look, that would have to be one that sort of that plays on my mind, because I always think that I'm an alien. But because I'm a bit different from everyone else. But yeah, that'd be a pretty big one. But at the same time, I think that, and I'm so big on this, is that the population control stuff. Like, I'm super, super under the, I have that feeling. I won't say, because I haven't got any fucking proper hard evidence for it. But at the same time, it's more like, just for example, when Elon Musk said, if world hunger gives me a breakdown of how to cure world hunger, I'll pay the $6 billion or whatever it was. And they gave him the breakdown of it, and he obviously said no. But I was just thinking, fuck, imagine what the consequences of curing world hunger would be, and just knowing that, okay, so there would be because it's just like, it'd be like going out in the wild and going, okay, it'd be like taking the prey away from every lion that was trying to attack. It just removes all, natural selection. I know that's not natural selection, because I don't think we'll ever cure world hunger because of the people who are in power. They need people to be in poverty. They need people to be middle class. They need people to be lower socioeconomic. They need people to be that higher affluence. They need their Knox college, Knox fucking prep school, whatever, because that's going to be the next fucking dumb old white man who's going to run the country. You know what I mean? So, like, I just think, yeah, there's population control stuff. Like, there is no way they haven't cured cancer. You know what I mean? Or like, there's no way, like, why do they keep implementing all these things like pharmaceuticals and like, smoking? They thought that was good for you. Like, what scientist ever said that smoking darts in a fucking hospital would relieve stress and we'd be so fine with it? And then everyone started dying from cancer, and it's just like, and it's so addictive. But then at the same time, it's so controlled. And then that's how the government makes more money. And then, we have to pay tax on the money we earn. And then we have to pay tax on the things that we buy. We have to pay tax on the people that we pay. And we have to, like, what the fuck? Where's that even going?
Yeah.
Oh man, I could just, you got me started now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
No, but they all are such great points. Like, you don't really think about it when you're just in your day to day. Like, everything you buy a pack of gum, you're paying like 0.1 cent on that gum. Like, depends on, like, you're paying that 10% every time you buy something.
Yeah. And what I think's wild is that, I guess, I don't think that the government or anything wants people to get better. They want people to keep committing crimes. It keeps people in jobs, but at the same time, it keeps the prison system going. And it's like, do you know how much it costs to have a child locked up for a single day?
No.
It costs $1,444 a day to keep a child locked up. Give me the breakdown about how 400 kids in a juvenile justice center for $1,444 a day, and they're overrun for 365 days of the year. How much is that? I'll tell you exactly how much it is. I've got a calculator next to me. So 1,444 times 400, which equals, it's $577,000 a day times 365.
We'll be up there.
Fuck. It's $210,825,000 a year. And you can't tell me that fucking 20 juvie staff and the facility runs on that much money.
But who's paying that money?
The government. And because it's privatized.
Okay. So the government pays the correctional
government
center.
pays people to build prisons. And it's completely privatized, and they are free to run it however they want. And they say that it's got to fucking fall in, legislation and guidelines and shit. And actually, we were just doing a study in psychology. It was actually social psychology, and it was about the Stanford University prison. It was like an experiment. Well, it wasn't even an experiment. It's actually a terribly run experiment, but it was more of an observation. And they randomly allocated. Well, no, actually, there was random allocation, but anyway, it was done poorly. But the thing was is that they had a whole heap of people, and then half of them ended up being guards, half of them ended up being prisoners. And within, I think it was under 24 hours, there was a riot. And then on the second day, someone was going mentally insane. And then the guards, the assumed guards, assumed this role. And as soon as they put the fucking uniform on, they just turned into this human. There was just minimal direction. There was a couple of nudges here and there from the experimenter. But they just got so consumed in this role, and they got power hungry, and it was just so fucking crazy. If you ever look it up, it's just a Stanford University fucking jail experiment or something like that. And it just goes to show that, dude, people, it's the power of the situation. People will fucking walk all over you, or will take advantage of a power imbalance, at the drop of a hat, when given the excuse, or when, oh man, it's just. And then, I've worked in the community with some kids that are really struggling, that are really unwell, and their parent is a fucking prison guard. And I'm like, holy shit, does it attract a type of person? Who does that sort of job, and who does it turn you into? Are you mentally unwell after doing the job or beforehand?
Yeah.
Well, I could go on forever about that, but don't even get me started about the health system. Fuck me.
Oh, geez. Well,
yeah.
It's crazy that you say it costs so much per child for a correctional center. But again, I don't want to bring it around to me again, but I just had, my partner just had a baby, and that motherfucker was free.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, and in America, it's not. You have to pay $80, or no, was it $200? I can't remember. It was just some ridiculous amount of money for someone to snip the umbilical cord for you.
Mm-hmm.
What? What do you mean? We're so lucky we have Medicare here, man. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. Every American person I speak to, I give them shit about their healthcare. Because in a heartbeat, I would move over there. But if I break my arm, or I need to go to the hospital or something, they'll charge me fucking $40 for Panadol. So motherfucker, I can bring my own.
They will turn you away if you don't have insurance.
Exactly.
How wild is that, man?
It's I could just go down to the pharmacy and get my own damn Panadol for fucking $5. You're sitting here trying to charge me $80 for a little tablet? No, I get a whole 500 bag.
Yeah. And but I'll say that, and Australia as a whole has got 25 million people in it or something, and they've got 380 million or something stupid like that. You just think, fuck me. So crazy.
The way I've spoken to many people about it and how they could possibly fix it, but hey, it's not my country and I don't run it.
Yeah, no, and God, man, how would you even run a country? You would just become this fucking target. I reckon people would just be fucking blackmailing you all day, every day, but at the same time, they would also be threatening your life and do this for me. The leaders don't really lead the country, man. It's not them at all. It's the mining companies. It's the people who you don't see that are in the shadows, man. That's the thing. There's people bigger than the government. That's the thing. There's so much bigger people out there than the government. Are we talking Illuminati? Look, man, I don't know. I don't know what it is or how many levels higher there is, but there's definitely something higher than that. It's so much higher.
Well, it's just like the music industry. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And
100%.
That's life in general. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You could be the smartest person in the world, but if you don't know that person, you're not going to get into that room.
70% fucking 70% networking, 30% skill.
That's it.
I'm telling you that right now. I know some of the best producers in the world, man, and they're shit people skills. They've got shit people skills, and they don't have the look, they don't have the marketing, they don't have any of these sorts of things. And then before you know it, they're just fucking ghostwriting tracks for these fucking huge artists. And then they're just sitting in their bedroom, just fucking missing their opportunity. It's just, look, all my hats off to them, but I know that they want to be that person that's up on stage, and they're just not getting there. It's unfair, but yeah, you just think, fuck, how do you do any different?
Yeah, because you can't really go from there to the big stage because you're that ghostwriter. You always be that ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Chris Lake and Fisher, like for example, like, you know, there's all those fucking rumors, or whether it's been confirmed or not. Like Chris Lake is nowhere near as big as Fisher is because he's a character. And that's just like, you know, poor example, poor fucking mainstream tech house example, but it's the truth. You know, he can't, like, look, Fisher can make tunes, I think, you know, but it's just, how would you even have time when you're fucking touring the world every single fucking day, man? Like, totally. It gets to a point, you know, like your David Guettas and your Tiestos and all that sort of shit. Like, they don't make any of their own tunes. They just fucking sign off on it and release it and just put you in the fine print. But like, I'd have a couple of those releases just because, fuck, man, why not a couple of mil a year?
Yeah.
Royalties on that fucking 0.10 of a fucking cent of a play. You don't make any money if I can make a music. I'm telling you that right now. It's just
terrible industry to be in.
Oh, especially with the, because as soon as they stopped selling CDs and vinyls and it went digitalized, it's like, you know, you used to hang to like buy the fucking newest CD or vinyl or whatever your medium, and then it was just like, oh, I can just readily get it off fucking LimeWire or something, rip it, or go to YouTube, or, you know, that's if you want fucking shit quality tunes. But then also at the same time, you can just now you can just download high quality off the internet for free. Like, and it's just like, holy shit. Like, it's just, that is killing the music industry itself. You know, I don't even understand what the fuck a platinum tune is these days. Like, what is that? How many, like, no one's fucking buying CDs. Where are the CD shops nowadays? Like, what, you know, I'm surprised that there's still fucking bookstores, but, you know, there's, you know, like, no one's buying CDs anymore. And you just think, what defines a platinum track these days? Is it a million plays on fucking Spotify? Like, you know, you see those Drake and shit, he's got hundreds of millions of plays on his tunes. Like, and are they real or is it bots?
Jesus.
You just don't know. Yeah.
Are we still on conspiracies?
Yeah. And how do they top all these charts when the tune's fucking garbage? You know, and I could go on forever about how the fucking ARIA charts are rigged here and how all fucking, you know, whenever there's a way where people can collude, there's just going to be exploitation. Mm-hmm. You know, there's only like fucking, oh man, I don't even know. Like, I've been so stoked to make it into the charts, but that was outside of these fucking groups and shit, you know, and like outside of these, I don't know, man, it's just so, look, and I don't know if I'm frustrated because I'm not doing it or because it's going on and I'm not taking advantage of it, but I'm not going to stoop, I guess. But you know, if you know how to work the system, it's like any system, you know, if you know how to work the system, do you do it? Or do you contribute to the problem, or, you know, do you benefit from the problem and just hope someone else will fucking, you know, it'll come to an end one day? Or what do you do? Like,
but these people have huge teams behind them pulling strings. Like, half these people don't even know this shit's happening. And then they're like, oh, your song's in the charts. You're like, oh, wow, that happened. But they have no idea what happened behind the scenes.
Totally.
So,
yep. Man. And look, and you know, and if that's the case, that's fucking unreal for that artist, because he's just like, fuck yeah, my tune's fucking #1. I'm getting 10 grand of fucking this, that, you know, like, it's just sick. If they don't know, that's great.
While they're also getting 10% of what he's making. So it's like he's getting 10 grand, but they're also getting a slice of that pie too. So,
or more. Like, I know some labels that will only literally will give fucking not even that to the person who makes the tune.
No, don't even get me started on labels. It's ridiculous. Like, why?
Like, I've only released, like, my last few releases have just, like, you know, I've had opportunities to release on some pretty decent labels, but I've got the first people that I send some tunes to is my mate Barbudo's label, Marvic, he's from the States. He actually just moved to Australia again, so that's good. He's here. We might have some things in the pipeline, but you know, release on his label, Marvic Music. And then, you know, my other favorite, you know, now Aussie-based label is Friday Records. Like, Simon Scrooby and Aaron Chiarella, like, they're the best fucking blokes ever. You know, and that's what I like. And they still put tunes out and they get traction. Like, I'm not about, you know, kissing feet, but I guess yeah, I'd like to send my tunes to them first, and send them elsewhere. And I guess whoever picks it up first is just,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I want to do.
Before we wrap this up, man, do you have anything to say to your ever-growing fan base?
It's so like it. I still can't. I still feel it's so hard to say that out loud. Like it's just, I still can't believe it today. But when people turn up to your shows, and then there's people that are there every single time, rain, hail, or shine, and it just fucking blows me away, man. Like I can't. It just makes you feel so good. Like all I have to say is just thank you so much. Every time that I see all of these people there, every show, it I don't know, man. I can't. It makes the night. Like even if it's like punters that are coming to see you and they come and approach you after and chat to you about your set, I'll always give time to. And I just think that thank you. You are the fucking best. Like this is why we do it, is to make you have a good time, or to help, create those memories as I was talking about earlier. Because fuck, man, it's not. Yeah, I just thank you. Yeah, thank you for supporting all of my music and all of my events and everything that I do, and I just feel the love. So, and I just always want to reciprocate that. And sometimes if I don't, it's just because I'm fucking utterly overwhelmed and I'm terrible in social situations. And I'm really hard at taking compliments. So if I don't, if you're giving me a compliment, I don't take it the way you expect it. It's nothing personal. I'm like, what do I do? Turn into a full retard about it. But yeah, so no, thank you so much. So much. I fucking love you.
Yeah. And what do you have to say to anyone who isn't following you?
Get on it. Sort your shit out and get on it. No, like if it's so funny, right? Because the algorithms with fucking social media and stuff, I just can't keep up with it, man. And it's not even I will reach you at some stage, and I really hope that when I do, it's what you're looking for. And if you come and watch me play, I'll do my absolute best to fucking blow your knickers off. Yeah. You'll always leave satisfied. I'll give you I'll do my best anyway.
Leave satisfied, maybe with or without your knickers.
Yeah, either or. They were like, where the fuck are my knickers, man? I've lost a shoe, my knickers are gone, and I never took my pants off. And then they're just like walking around real frazzled, and they're not even smacking out off any drugs. It's just that they just lost their knickers. I never took my pants off.
The night sounds wild.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Ludovic, man, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, man. Like, fuck me, the time flies, right? It's just, I appreciate it and appreciate what you're doing. I just dove at it because I can see you want to do this. No bullshit.
Yeah, no, man.
So thank you.